question is about accountability and pseudonymity in Web3 and how they kind of intersect. I do think you generally have to have a high level of accountability to get properly, quote unquote, paid. Because if it's not associated with you, then people will steal credit. You'll have a hard time having good branding. You'll have a hard time getting leverage. Um, but things are changing. In the olden days being, call it 20, 30 years ago, if you wanted a personal brand, you were talking about spending a lot of money on marketing. You were talking about having t-shirts, maybe like your name on a tower, maybe going on TV, maybe going on radio, maybe showing up in the media. So there was no concept of pseudonymity. And pseudonymity is this halfway ground between anonymity and nomity, which is being named. And it's a new phenomenon that only exists on the internet, essentially, or only really exists on the internet, where you can build up a reputation and a track record, but you can put it behind a .eth domain name, or you can put it behind a Bored Ape or a CryptoPunk profile picture avatar, and you can do your work completely online. So I think this is a very interesting model. It's a good defense against cancel culture. It's a good defense against all kinds of things. It puts people on even footing, whether you're male or female or black or brown or white or what have you, or old or young. Um, so I do think it is very powerful, but I think it's emergent, and I think this pseudonymity only applies within the narrow Web3 domain. So if you're in Web3 and you have a reason for the pseudonymity, then I think it's a very powerful weapon, and by all means you should use it. I think it's as good as accountability. It's just now the accountability is accruing to your avatar instead of to you personally. I think it's a fantastic new model. I mean, if I were starting out today, I would probably have a pseudonymous avatar. Maybe not, because I like talking too, and it's hard to make a voice pseudonymous or to be voice anonymous. But I would probably have less of a revealed identity out there. That said, I think outside of Web3, it doesn't really apply. And it may never apply. But then again, I think Web3 is going to be a very, very big part of society and the economy going forward. So more and more people will be pseudonymous. One other point is there is a place where pseudonymity is quite prevalent outside of Web3, and that's on Twitter. On Twitter, you have all these anon accounts, and there are occasionally people who call for banning anon accounts, and I think that's a big problem because to me, of course, the worst accounts are anon, the trolls and like the real haters, and the automated accounts and the spam accounts are largely anonymous. But I think the best accounts are also anonymous because they can speak truth at a level where named accounts can't. Because there is a collective set of lies that we have to believe as society to get along. And that set of lies is always shifting within the Overton, and there's a small Overton window that's always moving around. And if you say the wrong thing, you can get canceled, you can get attacked, you can get ostracized, or you can get just shamed or humiliated. But they're true, but they're saying true things. And what's even worse now is that cancel culture will reach back to your tweets 10 years ago and cancel you over that. So I just think it constrains the discourse if we only have named accounts. It constrains it unacceptably because now those people can be punished. So for the same reason, the secret ballot isn't very important. And the nom de plume with the pen name writing, I think like Ben Franklin used to write under nom de plumes, for example, and several of the founding fathers of the United States did. I think it's a very powerful thing, and I encourage it. I do think there should be more anon accounts, not less. It's very easy to block or mute annoying anon accounts. In exchange, you get incredible truth speaking from some very, very high quality accounts. I think if Twitter were to ever to do away with anon accounts, it would essentially be a much less interesting platform, even to the point where it might get displaced by a platform that embraced anons. I'm not 100% sure about Facebook because I deleted my Facebook account a long time ago. Not out of any prejudice, but just because I found it more annoying than anything else. But I believe Facebook does not allow anon accounts, and that right there makes Facebook way less interesting as a medium where you're going to learn anything or encounter anything truly interesting or off the beaten path.